Hi everyone, welcome back to TTGR. We will be doing the trailer trivia goofs in review for Mortal Kombat 2. If you want to see my full review, that is on my other channel, Good or Good Enough. Alright, we can now check out the trailer for Mortal Kombat 2.
You want to know what makes a hero? It's not destiny. It's not something you're born with. It's searching for greatness.
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen for Mortal Kombat.
Then realizing you've had it in you this entire time.
Whoa! I really don't feel comfortable hitting a girl.
Don't worry. You won't.
Yo! Send me back. I want to go back.
The rules of the tournament are simple. Our fates would not be settled by the size of our armies. They would be decided by combat.
That is a really good fighting moment. That scene is really awesome. All that.
I'm not some champion.
This is a war for the fate of your world. Finish him!
Me?
Earth belongs to me.
We do not kneel!
Our only chance is to face this together.
Let's go, baby.
You, Johnny Cage, are a part of this now. It's showtime.
Get over here!
Johnny will definitely die.
See, I don't know. I really think it was fine. Like, some people didn't really like it too much, but I mean, I liked the whole twist thing at the end, or with Johnny Cage, because a lot of people were saying that they're gonna clash too much, Kano and Johnny Cage, but Johnny Cage was pretty mature, and he has a character arc at the end. I thought it was pretty cool, and I would say he's nothing like Kano at all. He's very serious. Like, this part, I love that part. That was so cool. I don't think they did show anything from the spoilers, because what was the spoilers? That I guess, what's his name? Sub-Zero is now a Noob Saibot. He comes back. And then that other guy, he gets his chance for revenge from the first one, which, but the whole sequel thing is important. Like, it's more of the first, or maybe like something that wasn't like finished, maybe, or go back and visit that, or tie up some loose ends, maybe. Like Mortal Kombat 1, the story kind of ends. Or the main story, but there's still a few ends of other stories that didn't really get finished. And in this one, I guess they kind of do that, like Kano, right? And he is back. He was, oh yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, Sonya, she does kill him at that scene, I think, right? And he's out, I think he dies there. Yeah, and then he's back here. But I like the other half of the movie, sort of, not immediately. So yeah, I think this is pretty cool. This is the Noob Saibot character. It's cool that they did that. I thought it was really cool. I played a little bit of the games. I'm a little familiar. I didn't do much of the story. So, like, I'm not a hardcore Mortal Kombat nerd, but I do know some things. But yeah, I have played it a little bit. So yeah, I think it's cool. I think the end was really cool with this whole I think, yeah, this part where I thought that was so cool at the end that this, what's his name? Johnny Cage is like actually like serious. I don't know. I really like that. And then the big fight at the end, and yeah, I don't know. Isn't that characterization? I think that I don't know if Kano has an arc. He kind of does though. In the scene with Raiden, the three of them kind of mostly Johnny, but Kano was kind of there, and he's kind of on the same page, I guess. I don't know. I just found it so cool. My favorite part was when they go to meet the other guy. What's his name? They go to meet. I forgot his name from the first one. Hanzo Hasashi is his name. But yeah, when they go and visit him, basically, and it's all like an illusion or something. And he's actually in hell, I think, or no, something, right? Wherever, fire area. I forgot. Pretty cool though. But in that scene, it's really cool because Johnny and Kano are both there, and Kano's being a little silly. He grabs the peach and he offers it to Johnny, and Johnny is like, "No, pay attention. This is a serious moment." And like, I thought that was so cool. Like, they could have easily made Johnny Cage an immature, like Deadpool, or, quippy or something. But again, I think that was Kano's thing, and they didn't double that. They had Johnny Cage be a little Johnny Cage-ish, right? But in the end, he's mature. He can focus on an issue. He can be a problem solver. I guess a team leader, if not part of the team. So I think that's awesome, and I really like that part, and I really like the Raiden part. I thought that was cool. Like cheesy, whatever. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. So that's pretty much all the trailer. I don't know what else to talk about. I don't think they showed anything. I really think they showed. If you played the game, guess what? We're doing things like the game here. Like. If you like all that, yeah, well, here it is again, and we're going to show everything. We're going to show everyone's powers. There's going to be big scenes with them doing it, the fight scenes, all that. We're bringing back Kano's laser eye, as well as adding in characters. Like, I think that's pretty good. So, yeah, I think this is a good trailer, and I don't think they really show much. Let's see. The thing is this, though. You could probably predict maybe where it's going to go, but not how it's done. And the moments that look like they're going to lose, I think are very convincing that like they're actually not going to make it. Yeah, that's good, I guess. I do like it though, because yeah, here at the end though, I mean, it looks like they're gonna sort of do something here at the end. See, I don't know if any of this ruins anything or not, because it's like, yeah, see here though, both of them, yeah, I don't know. This is from the last scene though, that's for sure. And I think it's also, oh yeah, because I see that is a big thing. Johnny Cage finally gets his powers and does his sort of stunt move, and his powers kick in. And he basically does that. So, I mean, I think that's good. Like, you think Johnny Cage is gonna, like, kind of lose, and he's not gonna make it, and all this stuff, and then it happens at the end. And, yeah, you could say it's cheesy or predictable, but I think it's how they do it, Like, they made Johnny Cage really caring, and, serious, whatever. And they do that and then they do that at the end, and I think it's kind of like, it's, like, well won, like he finally deserves it, whatever, or gets it, his thing. I think this last shot here, no, that is from there. See, this one, let's see, where was that in the movie? Was that the final shot? Let me see. That might be that. I love that they include this Baraka in it. That was so funny. Like, you're gonna die first. That was pretty cool. That was a funny scene. Now I'm noticing all the skeletons in the background. Look at all of that. Those are all people who have been killed. I mean, look at that. They're full on bones. Like, they threw dead bodies in piles and literally left them there. Look at it. Like, it's around, it's almost like a decoration of bones. Like it's so much like how people have grass in grass lawns. These people have dead human bone lawns. That is, I think, good on the trailer. So after that, I do say that it was a good trailer. I don't think they didn't show anything from it. Small hints from the end, but I don't think anything in it to really ruin it because I don't know. There was like a couple of twists, wasn't there? I mean, there was the big one at the end where I think it's Katana kills the dad and becomes a queen or whatever. There's a lot of these other things, but I thought it was pretty cool though, you know? I mean, that was kind of the core story part was that Katana was adopted by that guy, the big guy. Khan, I think. So, yeah, that was a thing, and she gets her revenge finally for him killing her dad. But yeah, I think it's great. I think it's a good trailer. So yeah, now we will move on to the trivia for this film. So the first one is Greg Russo, who co-wrote Mortal Kombat, told Collider he sees the reboot as a trilogy, with the first film set before the tournament, the second film set during, and the third film set post-tournament. That's cool that they do have plans for 3 of them. I wonder who else they're going to get in the next films and all that. I wonder if they're gonna do past 3 though. You know, if they're gonna do 4, 5, and 6 or something like that. I wonder if there is like enough story or whatever, or you know what I mean. Next one is while Hiroyuki Hiroyuki Sanada portrays Scorpion with all his dialogue and such. Scorpion's iconic "Get Over Here" is performed once more by Ed Boon. Really cool. Carl Urban's son, Indy Urban, played the young Johnny Cage in the 1985 flashback of Cage competing and winning a karate tournament. That's, wow, really awesome. I wonder what how similar he looks to, so here's his, born in 2005. So, yeah, cool. He's done a few things, though, too. Awesome. When Johnny Cage first encounters Raiden in the parking garage following his convention appearance, he mocks him and asks if he's cosplaying Big Trouble in Little China. In fact, the movie was one of Ed Boon and John Tobias' inspirations for the Raiden character in the original Mortal Kombat video game. That's awesome. The first live-action Mortal Kombat feature film to feature the original Core 7 playable characters of the original game since the 1995 film, albeit with Bi-Han in his Noob Saibot form rather than Sub-Zero. The reason the Arcana system was omitted from this movie was because Jeremy Slater admitted it was an unnecessary explanation for the character's powers, even going so far as to compare it to the midichlorians. Wow, cool. It took 3 days to shoot the fight scene between Johnny Cage and Baraka. Along the way, the actors contributed their own ideas. Carl is very good at improv and added lines like, "Not the face," and "I got Saturn for the best fight," recalled Simon McCoy. That is cool. Wow, so they actually had some input on it, contribute their own ideas. That's cool. That's awesome. I like when the directors allow that. Though the name is not used in the movie, the reborn Shadow version of Bi-Han, formerly Sub-Zero, is named Noob Saibot in the video games. This is Tobias Boon, spelled backwards. Ed Boon and John Tobias were the creators of the Mortal Kombat game series. Awesome. That is so crazy. Wow. After the release of Mortal Kombat, Simon McCoy said the character Johnny Cage was not introduced in the film because Cage is a giant personality and would throw the film out of balance. He revealed that potential sequels could explore the material for characters like Cage and Katana. He also expressed he would like to include more female characters. This is something that is funny because people were saying that Johnny Cage somehow sort of like conflicted with Kano, and I don't think that's true because he Johnny Cage is very mature in the movie. He's very serious, and there's even a scene where he's next to Kano, and Kano is all, you know, immature, and then Johnny Cage is being serious. And I think they really make that obvious. And in my movie review, I said that I think that they did a good job separating them, because Johnny Cage ends up having sort of his character arc with Raiden. He helps him, whatever and stuff. I said I like it, even though I feel like it's a little cheesy maybe or something, but I think it's pretty cool that they put something in the movie like that. So I don't know, but I don't know. I guess technically I disagree with this. Like, he is a John personality, but perhaps what they did is they didn't do the character correct. I'm not too familiar with the game as well as probably the characters or whatever. So they may have not done Johnny Cage in the correct way, and maybe that's what happened. I do think part of the early things were that Karl Urban is a strange casting choice to play Johnny Cage. He kind of did good, I think, in the film, but it is a strange choice because sometimes it does feel like it's Karl Urban playing him rather than the other way around, or rather than the characters. But I thought it was fine in the end, but I feel like maybe that is the ultimate, the final reason. Damon Harriman, who voiced Cabal in the previous Mortal Kombat, plays Quan Chi in this sequel. Wow, I didn't even notice that. Jessica McNamee has expressed interest in exploring Sonya's relationship with Johnny and Cassie Cage in potential sequels. Nice. While Sonya Blade introduces Johnny Cage to all of Earth's champions, she never introduces herself by name, nor does anyone say her name in front of Johnny the entire movie. Wow, I didn't notice that one either. The first trailer received 107 million online views within the first 24 hours, and most of any Red Band trailer. It nearly doubled the record previously held by the Suicide Squad with 59 million views. The film was deliberately delayed by Warner Brothers from its original October 25 release date to May 2026 to cash in on the summer movie season. And they straight up admit that. Oh my god, that's funny. Johnny Cage's fictional movie poster of Uncaged Fury is inspired in the Tom Cruise's first Mission Impossible film, I guess. Wow, cool. Joe Taslim has been signed on for 4 sequels. Wow, wait. In addition to this? Because, well, here you go. Here's your answer on that. They're going to make another one, obviously. That's 3. Is this 2 after? Or no, let me see. It's 1 more here. That's 3. And then 1, 2, 3. Another sequel then. Oh, that's another trilogy. So this is to wrap up this one. So there's 2 right now. This new one will be there. And then that leaves 3. That's another trilogy. They're already gonna... Wow. Joe Taslim has been signed on for 4 sequels. Wait, what? Is this real? Holy crap. Well, that's cool. So there's gonna be that many? There's gonna be 6 of these? Wow, I hope they're, just as good or whatever. I think also what helped it was, I think the budget was low. So, wow. There you go. There's the answer on that. Karl Urban and CJ Bloomfield did much of the fighting themselves, while Urban's son double Gareth Hadfield performed other aspects, training for months on wires to perfect the twirl in the air, followed by the trademark split nut punch. Hadfield also played Cage in countless videos of stunt team created to develop the fight. That scene was so funny. It looked hilarious. I feel like it did look stunt-like. So, yeah, it looked like that, like a stunt. Yeah, I think. And I think it worked out in the end. One of director Simon McCoy's favorite shots in the movie is of a little Tarkatan girl whom the camera follows through the village to show the audience its scope. It took us 17 takes or something with a bit of gear called the Trinity, which is a very sophisticated steady cam, the director noted. Wow, 17 takes. That is so cool. They said, was it a one take, right? I think 17 takes. Wow. That is so cool. I love stuff like that. Director Simon McCoy struggled to find the right actor to play the role of Baraka, someone with the imposing size, but who could also nail the mix of humor, violence, and sweetness. He commented, I'm looking at all these different tapes and everyone's just playing it straight. It just doesn't feel otherworldly. The longer we went, I'm thinking it's going to be really hard. Luckily, assistant director PJ Voten had just filmed Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, and remembered how CJ Bloomfield, who had a small role as a member of Chris Hemsworth's biker gang. Bloomfield came in for an audition and nailed it on the first try. Wow. A lot of people, like, they're just in the background in other movies, and then you see them in the front or something like that. That is so cool. According to an interview with Luden Lin, there was a scene between Liu Kang and Katana that would have set up their romance, which ended up being cut from the film, along with a lot of other non-action scenes. Yeah, probably just not necessary. Screenwriter Jeremy Slater revealed that Tremor was included in the script, but was ultimately cut and replaced by Sindel. Slater explained it was one of those smack my own forehead moments of like, Tremor wasn't working because I wasn't able to devote enough time to sort of sell him as a character. Once we swapped Tremor out for Sindel, it immediately became more visceral, and there's just more skin in the game. And Sindel's powers were so much more fun that it felt like she belonged in that pit of spikes in a way that never felt right with Tremor. That's amazing that they're able to recognize that and make the tough decision, I know, and actually do what's right for the movie rather than your own ego. And yeah, that is really cool, and I think that worked out in the end for that. The shirt that Kano wears for most of the film is a black sleeveless shirt with a red dark trim around the shoulders, which is a subtle nod to Kano's costume in the Mortal Kombat 3 arcade game. Wow. Outgrossed Mortal Kombat within 1 week of release. Oh, jeez. In some of the fights in the film, the game is positioned in an angle that recreates the 2D side-scrolling style of the games. Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like the Super Mario Galaxy film had a bit more of those moments. Towards the end, they straight up do like the game stuff, whatever. But I feel like they did it more than this. This didn't entirely do it in that way, like, but sort of. But I feel like they could have scrolled a little bit, but they didn't do that, or panned. I mean, with the camera, but they didn't really do that, or maybe linger. Or even a third-person shot, you know, they never done that. Or POV maybe for a second. Unless it just looked too cheesy or something. Originally meant to be released on October 24, 2025, but was pushed back to May 15, 2026, then moved up to May 8, 2026. Scorpion has 2 chain spears, like how his game counterpart had in the 10th and 11th games. Officially announced on 26th January in 2022, with Moon Knight writer Jeremy Slater helming the script. Whoa, that's cool. Huh. Jax can be seen performing a ground pound, one of his signature moves in the video games, during a sparring session with Liu Kang and Cole. That's cool. On the same day that the first photos Johnny Cage, Katana, Shao Kahn, and Scorpion were shown by Entertainment Weekly, their movie skins from the sequel debut for Mortal Kombat 1 were revealed. Nice. This is the second time that an actor has returned to a Mortal Kombat feature film sequel to play a different character. Damian Harriman, who only voiced Cabal in Mortal Kombat, is returning to the sequel playing Quan Chi. Previously, Keith Cook, who played Reptile in Mortal Kombat, returned to in the sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, as Sub-Zero, specifically the younger brother, Kuai Liang. This is also the second time that someone has played in one incarnation or another, both Cabal and Quan Chi. Richard DeVizio played Cabal in the Mortal Kombat 3 arcade game and its updates, or Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, 1995, and Mortal Kombat Trilogy, 1996, and later played Quan Chi in Mortal Kombat Mythology, Sub-Zero, 1997, and was a live-action model for the promos for Mortal Kombat 4. So much stuff. That's really cool though. I like that. As long as it's like such like a different character that it can showcase the actor's skills. I think that's also important rather than DC and Marvel where they kind of like it's just another variation of the character as someone else. I don't know, something like that. This is obviously different. Carl Urban said, I remember when I got cast, I said to my two sons, who I actually played the game with, which was my first introduction to the world of Mortal Kombat. And I said, hey guys, I'm going to be Johnny Cage. And they were like, oof, big fan base, don't F it up. That is really, that's nice to hear that, like honesty, you know, no like whatever. Yeah, that's good for this guy to actually have two honest sons, to not lie to him, you know? That's great. Yeah, that's cool. Next is Shang Tsung and Quan Chi team up to siphon Raiden's power into Shinnok's amulet, alluding to their partnerships in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Mortal Kombat 9, and Mortal Kombat 1. That's cool. Next is Professor Wrestler Mike the Mizanin has openly expressed interest in the role of Johnny Cage and has even received the support of Mortal Kombat co-creator Ed Boon. Martial artist actor Scott Adkins also showed interest in the role of Cage. Ryan Reynolds has been a fan cast choice of Cage as well, with Boon also endorsing him for the role. Both Alain Musi and Tazito Garcia campaigned for the part as well. I don't get, wow, Ryan Reynolds. I feel like it'd just be two Ryan Reynolds, because Deadpool is literally Ryan Reynolds. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's him able to do his good. He's good at quippy stuff and make improv stuff. But I feel like I would have to, like, Ryan Reynolds would really have to do a real good acting job, I think, to really be convincing. Both Adeline Rudolph and Tati Gabrielle have worked together in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. One of Scorpion's quotes during his battle against Noob Saibot is "Vengeance will be mine," which is his pre-match intro quote from Mortal Kombat 9. Wow. Surpassed Mortal Kombat 1995 as the highest grossing film in the franchise and did so within 3 weeks of release. Cool. Cody Rhodes was considered for the role of Johnny Cage. Rhodes was later cast in as Guile in Street Fighter. Wow, that's going to be a big movie coming up. Director Simon McCoy and his team spent months developing the signature fight scene at the Tarkatan village in which Johnny Cage mouths off to Baraka. I wanted to feel like a society that has lived there for a long time and has their rituals, said McCoy, of building the set practically and even including Tarkatan children, something that is not in the game. The director also wanted to lean into the humor, something that McCoy got Mortal Kombat co-creator Ed Boon's blessing on. I said, you gotta sorta trust me, Ed, that I think we can balance that, he recalled. While McCoy blocked out the dramatic scenes with assistant director PJ Vitin and cinematographer Stephen Winden, the stunt team, led by Kyle Gardner, worked out the fights using cardboard boxes to recreate set designer Yohei Taneda's Tarkatan village at the parking lot at Village Roadshow headquarters in Australia. Those weeks of prep work meant there was no second guessing when they arrived on set to shoot, which required hours in the makeup chair for CJ Bloomfield. There was much less waste, and you can put on screen, and you can put more on screen, McCoy said. When the actors arrived, I want them completely immersed themselves in what they're going to be wearing and have conversations around their characters. That's good. Kind of a lot to read right there, but yeah, that's great. They definitely put a lot of work into it. I think it worked out in the end. Things look good, I think. Things seem to be thought out, obviously. Sissy Stringer announced that she won't be returning as Melina. Oh, okay. Baraka is shown flinging his arm spikes at Cage, similar to his spark projectile in the games. Wow. When Johnny Cage is watching his 1985 martial arts tournament home movie footage on YouTube, he's already taken up the name Johnny Cage as opposed to maintaining his birth name of John Carlton, which was originally established in the companion comic book for the first game, as well as in the story mode of Mortal Kombat 1 2023. Typically, it's been implied previously that the Cage surname was one that he took up once he became an actor. Wow. That's hilarious. This is the second project based on the video game for Carl Urban, Tata Gabrielle, and Adeline Rudolph. Urban appeared in Doom 2005. Gabrielle appeared in Uncharted in 2022, and as well as The Last of Us. And Rudolph appeared in Resident Evil in 2022. See, Doom is really cool, and that one does the POV game sequence towards the end of that film. And I feel like if they used it in here, it would have been too, maybe... like it's been used already, but maybe it could have been a reference to Carl Urban in that movie. Cole's fight with Shao Kahn takes place in the Deadpool arena. Liu Kang's match with Kung Lao takes place in an arena that resembles a portal of the Lost Bridge stages. That's cool that they did that stuff. Like actual game locations. Simon McCoy was rumored not to return to direct the sequel due to scheduling conflicts. Okay. I wonder what the third one. He should do the third one and wrap it up, and then someone should do the next three. Arawinda Karana auditioned for the role of Jade before the role went to Tati Gabrielle. Oh. Ed Boon expressed interest in Dwayne Johnson playing Shao Kahn. That could have worked, but again, I think it just would have been The Rock. I like that everybody in the movie is pretty much played by everyone's an unknown actor other than Carl Urban. As Sonya is freeing Katana from her chains, she says fight in the same tone as a game announcer. That's cool. Carl Urban is the second actor from Hercules, Legendary Journeys, 1995, and Xena Warrior Princess, 1995, to portray Johnny Cage after Chris Conrad, Young Hercules, 1998, and Young Hercules, 1998, played Cage in Mortal Kombat Annihilation in 1997. The opening credits logo used the same yellow and red fonts and blue lightning background as Mortal Kombat 2. The outfit Johnny is wearing during the Uncaged Fury sequence is taken directly from his past self in Mortal Kombat 11. Nice. Scott Connors and Rob Kippa Williams were considered for Shao Kahn. Actor, stuntman, martial artist, and cosplayer Danny Bortfeld, who cosplayed as Johnny Cage, campaigned for the role of Cage in the film. That's great. He probably would have gotten it too. I wonder what the actual final decision or choice of wanting to get somebody famous like Carl Urban rather than going with another unknown actor. I wonder whose idea that was. In the Cole versus Shao Kahn fight, the camera focuses on a hook near Cole's side of the arena, a nod to the stage fatality from Mortal Kombat 11. Ultimately, however, the hook is not used in the fight. Wow. Johnny Cage was excluded from the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie because the filmmakers wanted to avoid relying on a white male lead in an ensemble film with an inherently Asian aesthetic. Producers also felt his giant personality and Hollywood star background would disrupt the grittier tone they were trying to establish. Wow. That is that's a funny one. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, the next here are spoilers for anybody who is worried about that. On Cole's death, writer Jeremy Slater said the idea was very much we need deaths that are gonna shock everybody. I love Louis Tan. I think Louis is the best, but Cole was a character that the hardcore fans did not respond to in the first movie. And they were very vocal about that, and very vocal about calling for his head. So Cole was a great example of a character where killing him would shock the casual fans, the people who are not terminally online and just went to see the movie and enjoyed it. It's gonna be a really shocking moment for them. But the hardcore fans are expecting him to die. The flip side of the coin to Cole Young's early exit is Liu Kang's surprise death during the film's climax, which clears the way for Katana to take her vengeance on Shao Kahn and win the tournament. In contrast, Liu Kang's demise was designed to shock fans who know the character was canonically canonically won the tournament in the games. You contrast Cole's death with someone like Liu Kang, and there's a character that is not going to be that shocking for the casual fans, but for the hardcore fans who know that canonically Liu Kang is the guy who wins a tournament. Liu Kang is the guy who kills Shao Kahn. That is a shocking moment that tells you, oh, the gloves are off now. Nobody is safe. We have now diverged from canon in a way that leaves the ultimate fate of the tournament up in the air. So it was really cool. It was really about figuring out who are those deaths that are going to have the most impact, that are going to really drive the story forward, and who is going to surprise the most amount of people, and just trying to find a satisfying balance. Yeah, kind of a lot. I think a lot of people, I don't know. I think some people kind of it did generate like a small audience of people who did like Cole Young, but a lot of people said that he was literal plot armor and his power was literal plot armor. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they did that. The first one is entertaining, but I think it has more issues, unlike this one. Meaning the third one should be really good, right? Next is the first live-action Mortal Kombat feature film to show Johnny Cage performing a game-accurate shadow kick, both as a sliding, standing sidekick and with a green shadow. Previous incarnations, 1995's Mortal Kombat and 1997's Mortal Kombat Annihilation, typically show this attack as a flying sidekick with a basic shadow replication with no change in color. Yeah, that was hilarious when that happened at the end. That was that was cool. I thought it was pretty nice. When Johnny Cage and Kano squabble on how to destroy the amulet, Johnny Cage, played by Karl Urban, sarcastically comments that he'll check the instructions on the back and begins referencing the iconic "One Ring to Rule Them All" verse from the Lord of the Rings. Urban previously played Eomer in The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers and The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. Cage also called Raiden Gandalf a character from franchise at the parking lot. Yeah, that was so funny. I really like that. Next one is when Katana defeats Johnny Cage in their match, Shao Kahn yells, "Finish him," to command Katana to kill Johnny, which Katana ignores, causing a dazed Johnny to collapse. This is a direct reference to the video games when a player does not perform a fatality at the end of the fight, causing their dazed, wobbling opponent to collapse. That was so hilarious that they did that in the movie. That was funny. That was so cool. Katana becomes ruler of Outworld after defeating Shao Kahn in combat, as she did in Mortal Kombat 11. Though here, she kills Shao Kahn instead of blinding him, and she is explicitly ruling as Queen of Edenia, not as Outworld's Khan. Oh, cool. The scene near the end with Johnny regaling Baraka with tales of his heroism. Screenwriter Jeremy Slater had something similar, but after seeing the chemistry between the characters, he shifted to focus even more on them. Director Simon McQuoid added, once Carl and CJ had developed this lovely relationship, it helped us then go, okay, I know what we need to do. It sort of just fell off the truck. That was pretty funny, I guess. Mortal Kombat Annihilation 97 has Shao Kahn kill off Johnny Cage by a neck snap in the first act. Here he does this to Cole by crushing his skull and throwing him into the acid in the dead pool at the end of the first act. Pretty funny. During the fight between Liu Kang and Kung Lao, there is a shot that directly references the Captain America and Iron Man fight from Captain America Civil War in 2016. The blue character stands on the left with the shield or hat protecting him from the red character's powerful blast. In both films, two close friends are manipulated into fighting each other. I wonder if that is on purpose. Katana being chained up in the town square might be a reference to the Khan's Arena stage that debuted in Mortal Kombat 2, where, depending on the series entry, a different fighter note is shown chained up while the playable character fights Shao Kahn. Nice. Like the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie, this film features a scene with Johnny Cage and Scorpion in the Netherrealm. However, unlike the 1995 film, here Cage and Scorpion fight alongside one another. Cool. Johnny unlocking his Arcana causes him to gain a glowing green aura, and the kick he uses on Bi-Han is his amulet. Is his shadow kick from the games. The fact he unlocks this power in response to his desire to destroy Shinnok's amulet is a reference to Mortal Kombat 9 and 10, where it's revealed that his powers are a result of his bloodline being blessed with the power to harm Shinnok. Wow, cool. The attack Shao Kahn uses to kill Cole resembles the last hit of his fatal blow in Mortal Kombat 11, where he smashes his opponent over the head with his Wrath Hammer. Shao Kahn and Cole's bout in the Deadpool has a shot at the beginning where the two combatants face off with one on each side of the screen, mirroring the 2D gameplay of most of the series. Yeah, that's cool. Shao Kahn's presence on the left-hand side of the screen, usually taken by the player against a computer-controlled opponent, foreshadows Shao Kahn winning the fight. Oh, wow. Johnny finishes off Baraka with the low blow, doing a split that puts him in easy range for a groin attack. Also, his opening move against Goro in Mortal Kombat 1995. Nice. Before Shang Tsung can finish him for good, a healed Raiden uses his electric fly move to throw him out of his temple. Yeah, that's cool. Cameo. Ed Boon, series co-creator, has a cameo early in the film as a bartender named Ed. Yeah, so that's cool. I like that cameo. And that wraps up all the trivia. Yeah, that's pretty cool. A lot of stuff. They really seem to have put a lot of thought and effort into the movie. They're doing 6 total. That means they gotta get better. The third one, they should nail it. They should get everything right. And then the next, 3, they should get them close to perfect. Wouldn't you agree? There would really be no excuse at that point. I feel like you guys didn't learn anything. Like, there shouldn't be a reason that they're bad. Anyway, that is all the trivia. So just a couple of these here. So under continuity, it says, when Hanzo Hasashi Scorpion slices through Noob Saibot's shadow clone, the clone is facing away. In the next shot, he's facing Scorpion despite having a blade run through his torso. That just might be more of like in Avatar, they left what did they leave? They left a tool in it, a weapon that is used later, the bow or something. They left it in the background, meaning like the background isn't real. So someone, maybe it's on purpose, but someone made it and intentionally uploaded that image and put it there in the background, So this had to, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't notice it somehow. I don't know. That is funny when these things get through. When Sonya vanishes following the fight with Sindel, she is stationary. When she reappears in Raiden's temple, she is mid-stride. That maybe, that could have been, maybe they cut a scene out or something. Or, it's more of, it could also be like that was the only shot they had. And they weren't able, they don't have any alternatives, or that was the best one, and they said, well, this is the best we can do. We can't cut it because we need to show her reappear, right? Or whatever, you know what I mean? So they needed that. So they had to go with the shot that they had. It was probably that one. Revealing mistakes. Gravity does not apply to fighters, and thrown objects as their movements in the air are not parabolic, but in a straight line, which of course reveal that they are attached to wires. Well, okay. That's kind of a specifically strange one. Gravity does not apply to fighters, and thrown objects as their movements in the air are not parabolic, but in a straight line. I feel like it's also worded weirdly. I don't know. Whatever. I guess they're saying I think it's a thing that when characters are in space, they're not really in zero gravity, so they have to fake it. I think that's what they're saying. Anachronisms are next. Johnny Cage's film shown at the convention early in the film carries a 1996 copyright and features the song Rock You Like a Hurricane by Scorpions. While the original version of the song came out in 1984, the versions heard here are later re-recorded versions of the song. This includes Hurricane 2000, a 1999 re-recorded version with an orchestra, and the 2011 re-recording of the song from the Come Black album. Neither existed in 1996. Um, that anachronisms are hilarious. That is so funny. That is hilarious when they I don't know. They nobody can, like, if you're writing a historic movie, if you're at that level, you should have a couple of college graduates, bunch of professionals, and you write stuff and you hand it off to them and they read it. Like Christopher Nolan hands all his scripts to scientists and they go, okay, theoretically, yes, this makes sense, or whatever. Whatever. Like if this were to be how it is, okay, and then they could fix stuff, make it feel a little bit more believable. I think, whatever. So yeah, but anyway, those are all the goofs, and then we'll just finish up with a couple of user reviews for it. So it does at this point have 776 reviews. First one is 5 out of 10. It was okay. What the heck happened between the first one and this one? The storytelling just disappeared. So many important story beats happen off screen. The first film in this series had so much in the way of story, but everything here feels rushed and forced. And while I have a problem with profanity, there seems to be an unnecessary excess here, a lot of it feeling very forced. The general idea is okay, but badly executed. One character has an arc, less an arc, but an immediate 180 degree in a split second. It had no emotional weight behind it. That's funny. Yeah, that's. I just like that there was an arc. I guess it was sudden, but I like that it was there, I guess. Baraka comes across like a comedy afterthought. They're supposed to be savage, vicious creatures, and they turn him into a simple-minded, easily amused fool. Yeah, okay. Johnny Cage would never be so down on himself. His ego has always been an overriding force. Oh, it's a bit of mindless fun, but there's so much wrong with it. Wow. Now that's funny. See, that's what I was saying. They must have changed something. Like, they must have changed Johnny Cage. They must have did that. I haven't played much of the games. I don't have much experience. A lot of knowledge of this stuff. So, but I bet you stuff like that happened. Yeah. Next one is 6 out of 10. Cage steals a show. One word: chaotic. I like that it is 6 out of 10 though. He's being honest, but he still liked it. Highlights: Johnny Cage, fight choreography, fan service. That's hilarious. Yeah, low lights. Thin story, weak script, dialogue. Really. Mortal Kombat 2 doesn't exactly reinvent the franchise, but compared to the first movie, this is a major step up and honestly a pretty fun time at the theater. That's cool. Carl Urban absolutely sealed the show as Johnny Cage, bringing the exact level of cocky energy and charisma the movie desperately needed. He feels ripped straight out of the games in the best way possible, and nearly every scene involving him instantly becomes more entertaining. The rest of the cast is solid enough, but Cage is clearly the standout, and the movie knows it. The fight and death scenes are generally solid this time around, with stronger choreography, better pacing, and more satisfying brutalities. The movie leans heavily into fan service, which works in its favor. The downside is that the plot remains pretty weak, mostly existing as connective tissue between fights, but this isn't really a movie where people are showing up for layered storytelling anyway. At the end of the day, MK2 is mid overall, but it's a fun mid, yes. Bigger, bloodier, and far more entertaining than the first movie. I hate this thing with the whole fan service. It doesn't need to be that. It's... I don't understand, like, it doesn't need to be that. Like, with Marvel, all the characters exist right now. They're all at home watching TV, right? And it's just like, they would all be there or something, And if they show up, it's not fan service. It's because, like, they would be there, Peter Parker needs help. He'd call Hulk if he could. He'd call, you know what I'm saying? Someone needs help. They help each other, whatever, right? They probably have each other's phone numbers or something. This guy gave it 5 out of 10. Good, but not enough. I'm going to read this because I have seen it. So it says, it feels like the script for this movie was written by ChatGPT, though it did feature good fatalities. It's entertaining even if it's not the best. The story also lost its way a bit and didn't make much sense. I was left waiting for something to happen at the end, but nothing did. Plus, one of the characters says something that just gets left hanging before the movie ends. It's good, but not enough. That is so funny because I do a show called Good or Good Enough, and this sounds like kind of the rating I would give it. So that's, yeah, see, I don't know. I forgot what I gave it. I think I said it was good. I liked it. I don't know. I liked it, though. This one says 8 out of 10. A brutal and entertaining improvement over the first film. Mortal Kombat 2 is exactly what a Mortal Kombat movie should be. Fast, violent, over the top, and packed with familiar characters. The action scenes are a clear improvement over the first film, with better fights, more creative fatalities, and much stronger sense of fun. Carl Urban is very entertaining as Johnny Cage and brings some much-needed humor and personality to the story. The plot is still fairly simple, and several characters don't get enough time to develop. But that hardly matters once the tournament action begins. It is certainly not a flawless victory, but for fans of the games, this is a bloody and highly enjoyable sequel. I do feel the same way, although I haven't played the game, so therefore I can't have a true opinion. And I bet you they did change stuff. I don't understand that because you know what's strange? Ed Boon, like the creators were involved, right? So there's no excuse. They okayed it then. So then it must have been, it's okay, well then it's obviously on purpose though. So, but it's by them. I feel like if Amazon did this and it's all different, it's all changed all over the place, I feel like that would have, it would have been more of the reason or something like that. Or that would have happened. Like, but this was like this and it was from the people involved who made it and stuff. So that's funny though, yeah, I don't know. If the creators of something change it, you could say they're like, they sold out, right? But you could also say like, maybe they're just reimagining it or wanting to do something different maybe. But they technically okayed it in the end. I'll just skip through a few more. 7 out of 10, overall enjoyable. 7 out of 10, Johnny effing Cage. 6 out of 10, great potential, but ultimately disappointing. I'll read that one real quick. I love the original Mortal Kombat film, but in all honesty, I'm struggling to explain why this film was so disappointing. It had bags of potential. Katana and Johnny Cage as the main protagonists worked really well, and clearly a lot of money was spent on special effects, something the original lacked. Yes, I agree, everything looks great. And yet the original is a far better film. Maybe the reliance on CGI for the fight scenes made them less interesting. The fights in the original film couldn't rely on CGI, and ultimately they felt far more visceral because of it. Overall, though, this film could have been awesome, but the potential was never fully realized, and that's a real shame. Wow. Yeah, okay, well, that's funny. That seemed like they were all pretty much a lot of CGI in both of them. So, yeah, that's good on these IMDb reviews. On Rotten Tomatoes here, it does have 64% from the critics, 87% from the audience. So they really do like it, even with its flaws, And I feel like it is because there is kind of some care for it, and like some thought was put into it, I think. Critics' consensus is a self-aware slugfest that plays directly to those who know the difference between fatalities and babalities. Mortal Kombat 2 may not be a flawless victory, but it's likely the most roundly enjoyable entry in the franchise yet. Very cool, very awesome. Audience says Carl Urban as Johnny Cage alone is worth the price of admission in the second installment of Mortal Kombat, a gleefully gory victory that delivers faithful lore and bone-crunching fatalities. Really cool, really awesome. Some critics' reviews here. Bo Behan from Patch.com said it's fresh. In the end, Mortal Kombat 2 may not win over everyone, but in embracing its own mythology without apology, it becomes the film the reboot should have been. Wow. And then this guy, Brian Gill from Mad About Movies podcast, said it's rotten, saying, I didn't expect much, but even still, I'm underwhelmed. This is a movie that should be fun, but I never could quite get there, at least not consistently. Jonathan Santos from Primera Hora said it's fresh, 4 out of 5. Mortal Kombat 2 gives us the ideal and correct way to start the summer season on the big screen, with a feast of incredible action scenes, special effects, and hilarious comedy. Cool. Then James Profetto from Real James on YouTube says it's rotten, 6 out of 10. Mortal Kombat knows what it is. It's unabashedly over the top, and I like that, but there were so many moments where I felt the remnants of the first film carrying over. Matt Orozco from Macabre Daily, I guess. Said it's fresh. Mortal Kombat 2 delivers exactly what fans of the games have been asking for, with more fighting, more special moves, and killer representations of their favorite characters on screen. Michael Nordine from Movie Brief said it's fresh. Not a flawless victory, perhaps, but at least a reason to keep playing and watching. Josh Serba from Decider said it's rotten. This is a deeply silly movie that quickly speeds past being entertaining into the realm of crushing boredom. What? Even if it's bad, I feel like it's still entertaining. Terrence Johnson from Lenore Auteur said it's fresh, 7 out of 10. If this film is any indication of where the franchise could continue to go, I'd say that Mortal Kombat 2 is a positive bellwether. Yes, I agree. All right, so that's good on the critics. And some quick audience reviews. Christopher gave it 5 stars, saying amazing, a lot of action. Victor gave it 3 stars, saying pretty good, better than the 2 previous movies. Steve D gave it 1, 2, 3.5 stars, saying it won't win any major awards, but fans will love it. Jonas B gave it 1, 2, 3, 4 stars, saying I have never liked either the games or the story in the games or movies, but this is actually really well made. Good actors, good acting, just a well-made movie, fun watch. Robert C gave it 2 stars, saying lame, had potential to be good, but was not. Patrick C gave it a half a star, saying Carl Urban was amazing in Dread, but he was totally miscast as Johnny Cage. Sonya Blade too. What these films lack is any relation to the original story, and there were no combat scenes, no Goro, no Kintaro, and no Matero. That is interesting. Yeah. I thought a lot of people would not like his casting. But besides that, yeah, that is interesting. I feel like the first one was cooler because when it gets to Kano, I feel like it changes. As well as I like how they bring Scythoth, whatever his name's, the reptile, things like that. I liked how things were done. I feel, I don't know. I feel like things were done a bit better. Yeah, maybe that's what they're saying. This one was more of the game feel, right? The last one was tried to stick to a story-ish type of a thing. I'll just skip through a couple of more. Derek G gave it 5 stars, saying yes. I watched this movie 5 times. It has its ups and downs, but it was still worthy of the best sequel. I enjoyed both films. This guy gave it 2 stars, saying terrible despite having some well-executed fight scenes. I found it tedious and boring. Yeah, very funny. So those are all the audience reviews. Well, anyways, so just my final thoughts on all this stuff. For this movie, pretty cool. I mean, I liked it. My first thought was just I don't know why they had to cast a known actor. They were doing so well with just pretty much unknown people. I think the guy who plays Kano is kind of a known improv actor, which he improved a lot of his stuff, and I think that is pretty you can definitely see that, notice that. Other than that, I am surprised that they are making 4 more movies. They're actually gonna make one more. There'll be a trilogy, a post-tournament supposedly, and then they're gonna do another 3. And the director, Simon McQuoid, almost didn't come back for the second one. So if they don't get him for the third one, which it's going to be weird, I think they should. And then the next 3, either, get somebody else or 3 different directors. I don't know. I don't want the feeling to change. I feel like this one worked, right? Like I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the director isn't as big a deal as having the people who are part of what it is there, right? I think that is important. Like having the people who created the characters be there, and then it's a different director. It's somebody else, I think that's a good thing, like, or something. And I do just hope, like, are they going to do this 6 and then that's it? Are they going to keep going forever? I do hope that they don't burn it out, right? I hope they do a good third one, which should be really good. They should take all this feedback, all the criticism, all the issues, and make a third one and make it really good, right? Really amazing. And then the 4, 5, and 6, hopefully should be very planned out. It should be very thought out. It should lead to something or whatever. Or maybe at the end they come up with a new Mortal Kombat game. I think they come up with, I forgot the last one was Mortal Kombat 1 or something, right? They rebooted it or something. I don't know. But they have like new characters, Homelander and Peacemaker and whatever. And that wraps up this episode of TTGR. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Comment down below about what you thought about that trailer. Any bits of trivia that you really thought were cool. The fact that they're making another 4 movies, another one, and then 3 more. I don't really know much of the game stuff, but if you do, comment down below about what you think they should do, what you think they would do. And I will see you in the next episode of TTGR. Peace.